welcome. I'm going to make this as quick as I can, but you're probably here because you're either about to use Beacon Flow or I sent Beacon Flow to you to use as one of my founding users of the application. I have been building this for 3 months before I even let anyone see this thing, but now I really feel like it's at a great point because I'm confident in it and I actually use it to write my posts. So I think most of us know that we get ideas all the time. I used to get ideas, I'd rely on myself to remember them, and then I forgot them because our brains aren't meant to remember. They're meant for ideas, right? So then I would have ideas and I started writing them down. And then when I went to go execute on those ideas, I lost all my momentum. I thought they were stupid. I started second guessing myself and I kind of lost all the magic that was there. There's actual signs that when you have an idea, you have dopamine in your brain. That's why it feels clear. That's why there's momentum. But a lot of the time we get these ideas in inconvenient places, or we don't have the time to necessarily like spend 25-30 minutes writing LinkedIn posts, right? Okay, fine. So I think many of us know, like I said, that AI slop is coming, that we need to get online, that a personal brand is incredibly valuable at this moment. I think that we have 5 years, to be honest. And the longer you wait to start showing up online, it's this thing that feels unurgent, but it is urgent that we get going and get going at a way that is very human because we've become professional scrollers and this app is meant to maintain that human. Like I've worked as a social media manager for years and tried to create content on behalf of someone, but if it goes through all these layers, you lose the human. So this is meant to assist you in that human. And then the other issue when we create ideas is, oh, okay, right, but now it's going to take me 25 to an hour to write this LinkedIn post because I don't know a good hook for this. I don't know what structure I should use. Is it strong? Should I even post this? What framework do I need to use? I'm going back and forth with ChatGPT and it's sounding stupid as heck. Okay, all of these decisions we have to make is decision fatigue. And this is your writing assistant, Beacon Flow, to help you create a LinkedIn post within 5 minutes of your idea creation. Okay, the idea is that we capture the idea immediately in a very convenient way. I'm going to open the app so you can take a look at it. Okay, so here we are. This is when we'd kind of come in here and say, I have an idea. I love voice memos personally to capture my ideas, but you can also type it out in the app. Because I'm showcasing this on my computer, I can actually use my voice memo function. So I'm going to do that quick and I'll be right back. So you don't need to read this entire thing, but basically earlier today, I was like, oh, I just had a post go viral-ish earlier this week, and then the next couple of days my posts were a slap in the face of like 5 likes. So by the way, if you first open the app, you're going to be onboarded with 2 very simple questions about who you are and kind of the audience that you serve. For me, I'm a founder of multiple marketing agencies, specifically SS Lighthouse Creative, and I'm serving busy founders and speakers who want to show up online. Right, so the app will know that. So then I did my tap to speak, which was really convenient for me. And now I'm going to go and click generate hooks. The structure of the workflow of this application has been applied through mine and other copywriters' learnings from writing content. And a lot of the time we can write content better when we write backwards from the hook. So that is where this application starts. Okay, so here we go. And just for your information, you can open this up in case you want to remember what you said. So on purpose, these hooks are a little bit long. We want to give you something to work with. And like I said before, if you just post straight up what AI says, your brand will become that reputation will become your brand. You have to make it human. You have to make it your own. This app is not meant to just be copy and paste. So we're going to come in here and kind of read them and pick our favorite. And my favorite is this. I don't necessarily want to start with founders and speakers because I think that's a waste of space on this one. I think that the word flatline on Wednesday is a very fun way to say that, but we're going to make this short. And then I'm going to make this about my own experience. My post went, oh, that's what's happening. Post went viral on Tuesday and another flatlined on Wednesday. case because people like stories, right? So now the application is going to go ahead and pick a framework. So this is something like contrarian take, explanation, CTA. This is story, insight, shift. We always want our reader to kind of have a feeling after they read a post. So it will suggest frameworks that might work. So here are a few of the options. It will highlight the most recommended, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one. So now it's going to create the post, and it will do it in sections. Like I said, it is meant so that you can come in here and edit it and make it your own, so that you can insert your little sayings, your little niche topics. And my best performing posts are like posts that I've written to a friend. They're like text messages I've sent to a friend. You need to make it personal. So we're going to go ahead and read it once it's created, and then spiffy it up a little bit, and then we're going to copy it and get it into LinkedIn and post it. Just so you know, at this time, it is going to be a little bit slower, this processing speed, just because I haven't put all the moolah into that the database, the software, to make it like very fast. But eventually it will be very fast. Okay, so here we go. Now we have created the post. So just a little bit of insight. You can kind of come in here and edit each section. You can drag these sections and change the order of them. It will feel a lot better than that just did. You can have it regenerate an entire section, or you can delete an entire section. So I'm going to go ahead and read through this. My post went viral on a Tuesday and dead on a Wednesday. So that's repetition. So I'm just going to come in here. Oh, my face is in the way. I'm just going to come in here and edit this. The whiplash is real. I like that word, real. I'm going to say, I'm going to give some authority after writing every day for over 8 months. I felt both the confetti and the crickets. Nice, so we'll see what it did next. So I think that's very relatable, right? That swing isn't a judgment on your worth. It's how these platforms work. Okay, so like that's common X, Y. It's not X, it's Y framework. I'm just simply going to delete that. Some creators believe algorithms test this. So also another note is I will do this in another update, but you want to kind of break up this formatting so it's almost staccato text. I'm going to add, I would be lying if I said doing that didn't hurt a little. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna read the next section. I've heard this from multiple people, at least on Instagram. The algorithm will test the real ones to see if they stick around. So here we are adding our formatting. Here's what you can count on. I'm just gonna delete that. We don't need extra words. If you're ever saying something twice, just delete it. Treat every post like an experiment. Publish, watch what happens, and change one thing on the next one. That is the speaking from experience. Or from... I'm gonna be like, over time, the only thing that has worked for me, this has been the only thing that has worked for me. So you want it to be true for you. This makes consistency in small tweaks. Trust. I'll say trust. It will beat any algorithm mood swing. I like that better. Okay, and if you want, you can go in and like regenerate an entire section with this redo button. All three of them drove about 70% about my total reach. Wow, that might be true. Let me go look and verify that fact. So I actually came into my LinkedIn analytics, and out of my last 20 posts, 33 of them drove 33% of my reach. So out of my last 20 posts, 3 of them drove about 34% of my reach. So of my reach. So then I'm like, wow, what image would go good with this? And it'd be a graph of my analytics, basically. The post I took off showed me which hooks and stories landed. quiet ones show me where attention drops, and that became, I like this. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. I like to type in all caps, for example, and now we're on to the next section. So instead of this is great, but I would never say this. Track the slope of your learning, not the spike. To treat every post another data point. I don't think many people do treat their posts like data. Founders and speakers, what's one small experiment you are running? Is anyone testing something fun right now? I'm just making it more casual. Okay, great. So now we have the post, and you can copy the entire thing, or you can save it for later, and it will save all of your drafts here in your history tab. So you can come back, you can edit the draft, do the same thing, or from this page, you can copy the post. I'll eventually have it where you can post directly to LinkedIn via the app, but right now that would hurt your invisible authority score or your invisible trust score on LinkedIn, because it's not a verified partner yet. It will be once we prove more usership, and we already have that relationship built, but we just kind of have to fix that. Here's the light mode of the app in case you want to switch, but we like the dark mode over here. So, and then eventually, if you need to post something but you don't know what you want to post, you can kind of work backwards from inspiration, but really the main purpose of this entire app is to use the inspiration that you have throughout the day. So like I said, I was very overwhelmed when trying to use other LinkedIn writing tools, LinkedIn publication tools, and so the app is meant to get you going in 5 minutes. How magical and very simple, and this is just version 1. I'm bringing it to about 30 to 40 people, getting that feedback, and then we're going to refine it every single day. This system, including this app, you get to use it for free, but it is for the founders who care about speed, clarity, consistency, and leverage. I think we all know a lot of leverage is coming from posting online, and I want to help you do just that. That's my mission, to make this a lot more easy, a lot more simple, to bring your ideas that change the world to life. I'm excited for your feedback. Please don't hold back. I want to put this thing through the ringer and make it the best possible tool ever. Thanks for using it. Chat soon.